So today's topic is unilateral Z transform. We have already covered Z transform, inverse Z transform, properties of Z transform. Now the Z transform which we have covered is bilateral Z transform. There what we have written for Z transform, if you see the formula, what is Z transform? If you see, bilateral Z transform is summation n equals to minus infinity to infinity x of n z raised to minus n. This I am putting as minus infinity to infinity. This is nothing but we are considering this as x of n both sided signal. So this is nothing but called as bilateral Z transform. And all the properties which we have done are for bilateral Z transform. You have seen the my lecture on properties of Z transform there, which the properties which we have covered are for bilateral Z transform. Now what is this unilateral Z transform? This is for one-sided signals. This unilateral Z transform is nothing but x of z summation n equals to 0 to infinity x of n z raised to minus n. You can say this is nothing but called as one-sided transform. One-sided transform or unilateral Z transform. Okay, here the definition is 0 to infinity. The formula is from 0 to infinity. Or we can say it is also for causal signals, because causal signals exist only for 0 to infinity. Okay, now what is the difference between bilateral and Z transform? The difference is bilateral is for both sided signals and this is for single sided transforms. Now I'll tell you the property which is different. Okay, I'll explain you here only. The property which is different than bilateral transform. Which is different here? The property which is different is time shifting property. Time shifting property for unilateral transform. What is time shifting property for bilateral? If you know, x of n, if x of n, the transform is x of z, then x of n minus 1, the transform is z raised to minus 1 x of z for bilateral. For bilateral it is x of n minus 1 z raised to minus 1 x of z. But for unilateral this changes, this is plus x of minus 1. So x of n minus 1, the transform is z raised to minus 1 x of z plus x of minus 1. This is nothing but called as initial conditions. X of n minus 2 is nothing but z raised to minus 2 x of z plus z raised to minus 1 x of minus 1 plus x of minus 2. Similarly, what will be x of n minus 3? It will be z raised to minus 3 x of z plus z raised to minus 2 x of minus 1 plus z raised to minus 1 x of minus 2 plus x of minus 3. What are these x of minus 1, x of minus 2? They are initial conditions. And these are not there in the bilateral Z transform because we are considering the both sided signals. Here it's only unilateral transform and unilateral transform. This is the time shifting property. So remember this property that is different in unilateral Z transform. The next properties which are different, which are extra in the unilateral Z transforms are initial value theorem and final value theorem. So let us see that. So now we'll see initial value theorem and final value theorem. Initial value theorem states that initial value of the signal, that is x of 0, initial value means x of 0, equals to limit z tends to infinity x of z. That means initial value can be obtained from x of z also by putting the limit as z in infinity. This is called as initial value theorem because we are finding the initial value of the signal from x of z. Final value theorem states that x of infinity, that is final value you are finding, equals to limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 upon z x of z. Final value you are finding again from x of z by multiplying the z raised to minus 1 upon z and putting the z as 1. We will prove these two theorems. So now how many properties are different in unilateral Z transform? Different means extra properties. So, initial value theorem, final value theorem, and the property which we have learned, let us time shifting property. Third one. This already we have learned, time shifting property. What it says? That x of n minus 1, the transform is z raised to minus 1 x of z plus x of minus 1. Or x of n minus 2, transform is z raised to minus 1 x of z plus z raised to minus 2 x of z, z raised to minus 1 x of minus 1 plus x of minus 2. Okay, so this is the property which is different in unilateral Z transform, and these are the two extra theorems which we have in unilateral Z transform. So now we'll see the problems with this, with initial value theorem and with the time shifting property. Yes, I'll write down the initial value theorem and final value theorem in the side, and we'll solve the problems. Yes, so what is initial value theorem? Initial value theorem is x of 0 equals to it is x of 0 equals to limit z tends to infinity x of z, and x of infinity equals to limit z minus 1 upon z into x of z. So this is initial value theorem and this is final value theorem. So we'll solve some problems. Okay, yes, write down. Find the first one, find initial value and final value of x of n if x of z equals to 2z square plus 0.25 upon z plus 0.25 into z minus 1. Okay, so what will be x of 0? Now what you have to find first? X of 0. What will be x of 0? Limit z tends to infinity. So we'll write down here limit z tends to infinity to, along with we have to put z tends to infinity, so we'll write this as 2z square plus 0.25 upon z plus 0.25 upon z minus 1. Okay, now we have to put z as infinity, so we'll divide this by z square because the degree of numerator and denominator is same, so we divide by z square 2 plus 0.25 upon z square upon 1 plus 0.25 by z 1 minus 1 by z. Now put the limit as z is to infinity, we'll get 2 upon 1. The answer is 2. We have applied here the initial value theorem. So what we got, the degree was same, divided by z square, so we got 2 upon 1 is z. Okay, now final value theorem, x of infinity equals to limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 upon z into x of z. What is x of z? 2z square plus 0.25 upon z plus 0.25 z minus 1. Okay, this gets cancelled here. Now when you put the value of z as 1, you get here 2.25 and denominator is 1 into 1.25. The answer is 1.8. So the initial value is 2 and the final value is 1.8. Hope it is clear. Okay, so this is the initial and final value theorem used for finding initial and final values. Let us see one more example. So find initial values and final values of x of n if x of z equals to, second example. Okay, x of n, this is the second one. If x of z equals to 2 upon z square plus 1 by 6z minus 1 by 6. Okay, so the x of 0, we know x of 0 equals to limit z tends to infinity x of z. Now the degree is not same here. We are getting here, if I put 2 z as infinity, I am getting 2 here. 2 upon infinity equals to 0. I am not getting here non-defined. If I get non-defined, then I have to divide by z square on. And whenever the degree is different, you are going to get answer as 0. If the degree is same, the answer will never be 0. You will get the coefficient of the this higher term and upon coefficient of the higher term in the denominator. Yes. What is x of infinity? X of infinity is limit z tends to 1, z minus 1 upon z, x of z. Okay. Now what is x of z? I'll put value here x of z. So x of z is 2 upon z square plus 1 by 6z minus 1 by 6. Okay. Now if I put the value of z as 1, you are not getting anything here as denominator. You are not getting 0. Only numerator you are getting 0. So what you are getting here? You see, when you put the value, you get 0 into 2 upon minus 1 by 6. That means you are not getting anything in numerator 0. Your answer is 0. It is not defined. It is defined. The value is 0 upon something, so it is 0. So both the answer x0 and x infinity are 0. Okay, it is clear? Yes. So this is how we find initial and final value using theorem. Now we will see the use of property, that is time shifting property for unilateral Z transform. So we will do one problem for that. Yes. So that says find the output of the system, third one. Find output of the system y of n equals to half y of n minus 1 plus x of n, where x of n is given as 1 by 3 raised to n u of n and y minus 1 equals to 1. Now this question we have done in bilateral Z transform also, but there the values of initial conditions are 0. So whenever the initial condition values are 0, you will use bilateral Z transform. But when the initial condition is given, we will see it, we have to use the property of unilateral Z. What is the property? It says that y of n minus 1 Z transform is z raised to minus 1 y z plus y of minus 1. If the value is given, we have to use this property, time shifting property for unilateral Z transform. Yes, let us start. Take Z transform of the equation. So y of z equals to half z inverse y of z, the z inverse of y of n minus 1 is z inverse y of z plus y of minus 1 plus x of z. I am taking the Z transform of this equation. Yes. So now y of z, take it common because you have y of z here also. 1 minus half z inverse. And y minus 1 is 1, that will be that side only 1 by 2. 1 into 1 by 2. Plus, what is x of z? X of n is 1 by 3 raised to n u n. So x of z will be 1 upon minus 1 by 3 z inverse. Okay. So y of z 1 minus half z inverse equals to, if I solve this, I am going to get is half plus 1 is 3 by 2 minus, if I see, 1 by 2 plus 1, 1 by 2 plus 2. So it will be, solve this, you get here is 1 by 2 plus 1. 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2 minus 1 by 3 z inverse upon 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 6. It is 1 by 6. Okay, upon 2 I have taken it up. Okay, so 1 by 2 I have taken up. 1 minus 1 by 3 z inverse 1 minus half z inverse. You can write this as a upon 1 minus 1 by 3 z inverse plus b upon 1 minus half z inverse. Right? Because we know now we have to solve it for y of n. You have to find the output of the system. So for that you have to find inverse Z transform. You have to get the value of a and b. And a and b you can get by Cauchy's residue theorem, which I am using in every lecture. What is Cauchy's residue theorem? A will be what here? How will you find a? A will be equals to y of z into 1 minus 1 by 3 z inverse equals to 3. What will the value you can find? Yz equals to b equals to yz into 1 half z inverse equals to 2. If you put this value, the value of a you are going to get is minus 4. The value of this will be minus 4. And the value of b you are going to get is 7. Okay, so I'll write down here what is y of z. Y of z is minus 4 upon 1 minus 1 by 3 z inverse plus 7 upon, I'll write down in the denominator properly. So y of z we are getting as minus 4 upon 1 minus 1 by 3 z inverse plus 7 upon 1 minus half z inverse. A and B we got it like this. So A ka value we are getting minus 4 and B ka value we are getting 7. So you can get A ka value like this using Cauchy's residues theorem. Okay. Now find what is y of n. Now you are used to it. You know what is that inverse Z transform of this? Minus 4, and it is given as u of n. I am considering this as causal system. So minus 4 1 by 3 raised to n u of n plus 7 half raised to n u of n. Okay. So this we are finding inverse Z transform, and we are using unilateral Z transform because of the initial condition given. Okay. Now I have missed the proofs here. Proofs of initial condition is, that is initial value theorem and final value theorem, that I will be taking now. The proofs of initial conditions, initial value theorem and final value theorem. Very easy, that are one line proofs. We have to just apply the formula of Z transform and get the values. We know now what are initial value and final value theorem. You see how we are getting the proofs. Yes, let me state again the theorem. What is initial value theorem? Initial value theorem is x of 0 equals to initial value theorem. That is proof of that. Let us see proof. What is initial value theorem? X of 0 equals to limit z tends to infinity x of z. Okay, let us see the proof. Now what I am writing here, x of 0 equals to limit z tends to infinity x of z. What is x of z? X of z is summation x of n z raised to minus n equals to 0 to infinity. This is unilateral Z transform. The limit is 0 to infinity. Yes. Now let us expand this. X of 0 plus x of minus 1 z raised x of 1 z raised to minus 1 plus x of 2 z raised to minus 2 plus last one is x of infinity z raised to minus infinity. Now what is the theorem here? Theorem is saying that x of 0 limit z tends to infinity. Let us put z raised to infinity, limits both the sides, limit z tends to infinity, limit z tends to infinity. Now when you put the limit z tends to infinity in this side, this is z raised to minus 1, that is 1 upon z, this is z raised to minus 2, that is 1 upon z square, and this is z raised to minus infinity, that is 1 upon z infinity. If I put the value as infinity, these all values will become 0. Only what is left is x of 0. And what is in the left hand side is limit x of z tends to infinity. What this theorem says. So we can say that we can find the initial value of the signal from Z transform by just putting the value of Z as infinity. This is initial value theorem, and we have proved just in one line from the formula of Z transform. Similar, we have to prove final value theorem. Final value theorem also is of this kind. Yes, let us write again the final value theorem. What is final value theorem? And similarly, we'll write the formula of Z transform and prove final value theorem. Final value theorem is x of infinity. Yes, just now we have seen limit z tends to 1, z minus 1 upon z, x of z. Actually, this is z minus 1 upon z is nothing but, if you write it again, z tends to 1 minus z inverse x of z. Why I am writing like this? Because now we have to prove this and we have to get this is equals to x of infinity. So now you look at this. What is this? What is x of z? The x of z is the transform of x of n. And z inverse x of z is transform of x of n minus 1. So I am writing it here, summation of this z raised to minus 1. That means I am writing this. This is nothing but the z transform of x of n minus x of n minus 1. N is again 0 to infinity because we are doing for unilateral z transform. Now what is this value you are getting? And what is the limit here? We have to put limit z tends to 1. So limit z tends to 1. When I put the value of z as 1, this becomes 1. This becomes 1. That means what? It will be x of n minus x of n minus 1. Right? N equals to 0 to infinity. And what is this? This is nothing but, again right here, 1 minus z inverse x of z limit z tends to 1, because I am putting in both sides. So I am writing here limit z tends to 1. So anyway, I have put the limit z is to 1, I don't need to write here. Now let us put the limits. It will be x of 0 minus x of minus 1. For x of 1 minus x of 0 plus x of 2 minus x of 1 plus dash dash x of infinity minus 1 minus x of infinity minus 2 plus x of infinity minus x of infinity minus 1. Okay, now what is happening here? You see x of 0 here is getting cancelled, x of 1 is getting cancelled, similarly x of 2 will get cancelled, all will get cancelled like this except this, and this is not, because it's a unilateral Z transform, this is not present. We have only here x of infinity, and in the left hand side you have limit z tends to 1 z minus 1 upon z x of z, and this is nothing but the final value theorem. So this is the proofs of the theorem. So in this lecture we covered unilateral Z transform, and I think now I have covered all the topics of Z transform. If you have any doubts, you can put in the comments or you can give me the feedback. Okay, thank you.